Welcome to another edition of the Telecoms files. This time I would like to talk to you about smart grids and in particularly if they could be helpful in having some quick wins in the climate change discussion. Smart grids, of course, have everything to do with upgrading the electricity grid. That actually on three levels. On one side is the backbone of the smart grid that needs to be upgraded with communications elements so that you can better manage and monitor what's happening on the network. Then you need smart meters linked to that network that provide interactive operations between the users, the household users, business users and the utilities. Some of the applications can be run by utilities, other applications can be run by the people in their homes. And thirdly, you start talking about renewable energy distribution. So in order to actually utilize the smart grid for renewable energy such as solar, wind, e-cars, etc., you actually need to have a network that allows you to upload the energy into the network and manage that properly. Now, we've seen that the overall CO2 debate in Copenhagen has been rather difficult and it has not delivered what we all had hoped for. And on the other side, we see China saying, okay, we are absolutely committed to this, but actually we wanted to do it in a different way. We start looking forward rather than backwards. We can't change the past, but we actually can make sure that whatever we do in the future is going to be far more energy efficient. And they are massively investing in things like smart grid, in things like solar energy, wind energy, e-cars, etc. So a lot of the technology development could well come from China over the coming years. The Western world is a little bit reluctant, they say, it's not necessarily that technology has to do that. We have to have schemes in place that actually start seeing the reduction of CO2 and that is then driven by emission vouchers or taxing systems or whatever. And I think, that we could be very surprised to see that a lot of the quick technology wins could actually have an effect as well. I'm not saying that you should do the one and leave the other, absolutely not. But in the meantime, it looks that technology-based issues are a little bit easier politically to get them underway. We don't have to stop the other one to actually get this going. So let's put a lot of effort on things that we agree upon at the moment, that we understand that's going to deliver, perhaps even up to 30% energy efficiency, which will have an enormous impact on the climate change elements. So let's start looking at technologies. Let's start looking at smart grids and start building out these networks and see, if that in parallel with other political sort of discussions that are taking place and measures that's going to be made, can actually start making an impact on our climate change issues. I hope you enjoyed this edition of the Telecoms files. At the end, of course, more information provided on information that we have on these developments, and as always interested in your feedback.